6th episode of CRB 101. It's been such a splendid week. You know why? Because we've only worked 4 days. Friday being my best day of the week. And thanks to our Muslim brothers, we had a nice holiday on Monday. Karibuni sana to this episode of CRB 101. In the recent past, we've talked a lot about disputes, right? Unapata credit report yako and there are anomalies on the report, probably the names are not matching, ama there are names that are not yours, or mobile numbers, ama there are accounts really that do not belong to you, ama sometimes umelipa loan na ijakuwa updated. All these and other several issues, normally you can always raise a dispute with us. So today we are here to talk about dispute resolution. And I'm never alone, as always, you know. So this morning, I am joined by one, Tracy. Tracy is a dispute resolution officer here at Metropol CRB. Karibu sana, Tracy.
Thank you so much for having me.
How are you feeling?
Great.
Yeah? How is your Friday morning?
It's amazing.
It is. Short week?
The best week ever.
The best week ever.
Yeah, 4-day working week. It should be a thing.
Should be a thing.
Should be a thing.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having
me. So Tracy will help us understand the dispute process. If you have any questions on this topic or any other topic, please send those comments to our comment box. We are live on our Facebook page, Metropol CRB. We are also live on our Twitter, Metropol CRB, as well as our YouTube channel, Metropol TV Kenya. We'll be looking forward to answering all your questions. So without wasting much time, Tracy, for someone who's hearing about disputes for the first time, what is a dispute?
So a dispute is basically a complaint that a customer lodges with the bureau.
Yeah.
And it's a complaint when it comes to a customer's credit report. I want to believe, like in your previous sessions, we've talked about what a credit report is and what is entailed in the same.
Yeah.
So when a customer receives their credit report and they go through it and they feel that there's information that has been captured incorrectly, when they come to complain, that is what we call a dispute.
That is what is a dispute.
Yes.
And I love it that you've just talked about a report. Now, you cannot dispute information that you don't have.
That you have not seen.
That you've not seen.
Yes.
So if you've not gotten your credit report, the first thing that you need to do, dial *433# or go to Google Play Store, get our Crystal Ball app. From there, get your credit report. The first time, if it's your first time to register, you'll only pay 100 shillings. You also have a right to get a free credit report every single year if you're a registered customer. So now, you've told us what a dispute is, and we know that it is established in the laws that CRB should have a dispute office, isn't it?
Yes.
So what is the role of a dispute office here at
basically,
Metropol especially?
Just like you've said, the CRB regulations 2020, it made it compulsory for the bureau to have a functioning dispute office, and that's why we're here. So our role basically is we act as the bridge between customers and the credit information providers when it comes to after they've lodged a complaint.
All right.
So we act as the mediator in such circumstances where they come in, file a complaint, then we pick it up from there with the credit information provider. So we receive complaints, we write to the credit information provider asking them to conduct in-depth investigations to confirm the accuracy of the data that they submitted to the bureau, and then once they communicate the resolution, we communicate the same to the customer.
Okay.
Yes.
So because we've just talked about being the bridge, so what mechanisms are in place to handle disputes or errors on credit information?
First of all, we allow customers to walk in.
Yeah.
We have our offices at KCB Towers, 14th floor. We also have an office in the CBD at Pension Towers, 7th floor. So when you come in, an agent will be able to give you a form where you fill in that form, giving us your personal information, and then later on giving us the information that you're complaining about. And then you have to attach your identification card because it's also a requirement for us to access your credit profile. And then after that, you leave us with the form. The dispute process takes 31 days, and then we pick it up from when you left the form. We also have our contact center line where you can call and an agent will be able to guide you.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you can either walk to offices or give us a call.
Give us a call or even write an email.
Write an email.
Yes.
So you can give us a call on 0709 834 000, 0709 834 000. You can also just lodge a dispute through WhatsApp. Yeah.
Yes, you can.
If you do not have airtime.
Yes.
WhatsApp 0705 723 666. You can write to us, and Tracy just mentioned that there is an email address. You can write to us on our official email address, info@metropol.co.ke. But I also know there is an email address for
yes.
disputes, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, which is
dispute-resolution@metropol.co.ke.
But even as you're here, we also receive disputes through social media.
Yes, we do. Through
Yes.
X,
Yes.
Facebook, WhatsApp. Well, WhatsApp is also social media.
It is social
Yes.
media, yes. So,
Instagram,
yes.
you name it.
Yes, so you can write to us on Facebook, Metropol CRB, same way X, on Instagram, metropol.crb, and yes, we will help you with this whole issue of disputes. So now, I know I was giving examples of some of the disputes or some of the issues that are always on a credit report, but what are specific instances a customer can dispute with Metropol CRB?
So that's why it's important for you to have your to know what is contained in your credit report.
Yeah.
So at the top, we normally have your biodata, where we have your names, we have your phone number, we have your gender, your marital status, your date of birth, all that information. Sometimes it may be captured erroneously.
Okay.
There might be names that don't belong to you. There might be a phone number that does not belong to you. Your date of birth might be captured incorrectly, or your gender or your marital status could be incorrect. Now for that one, we handle it in-house.
Okay.
You do send us the form, of course, and that's why your national ID is very important.
Yes.
Then once you send us together with your national ID, we share it with our data team, who in turn now can correct that information to reflect the true information as per your ID card.
So you're saying the biodata, that one can be corrected real quick just internally?
Real quick, 2 days.
2 days?
Yes.
Okay, which is real quick,
That's
if you
real
ask
quick.
me, especially
Yes.
because you're saying a dispute process takes 31
days. Oh, yes.
So 2 days is such a...
It's real quick.
The turnaround time is real quick, all right.
And then now from biodata, now we go to accounts, the accounts that have been submitted by the credit information provider.
Yes.
Now there are instances where there's an account that has been reported in your report and you have never taken such a loan. So you come to us, you tell us that this account is in my report and I do not recall ever accessing such a facility. And then there's an instance where you have taken a facility and it has never been in arrears. You've never defaulted in the payment of that loan, whereas in your credit report, the credit information provider has submitted the data as this account at some point was in default and you feel like that has never happened.
Okay.
So now the current status of that account for you feel has been captured erroneously.
Erroneously, yeah.
So that is another instance. Another instance is where you have paid that loan and the credit information provider has not updated the loan.
Yes.
To reflect the true and current balance of the same. So now in such a circumstances that's a delayed update. However, for such, we advise that you wait for you to cross the 60th mark, but we never turn away any complaint. If you feel like you want your update now, and we can come in to help, we are very willing to do the same.
Okay.
But generally, updates should take 2 to 3 working days to update the account to show that it has been fully settled or there's some payments happening in that account. Another instance is when now this matter is in court and there is a court order that is instructing the bureau to delete that account pending determination of the suit. So, or the suit has come to an end and now we are being ordered to delete that account. So we go ahead and act as per the court orders. Those are the instances where those are some of the disputes that we receive.
So I know that as an office you receive quite a number of disputes, just on different issues and different matters as you're explaining.
Yes.
So how do you verify the accuracy of disputed information?
No, that is entirely the responsibility of the credit information provider.
Okay.
Because they are the ones who submit the data to the bureau. And that is why when we're doing our communication to the bureau, we ask them to conduct in-depth investigation, because they are the ones who have the documentation to prove a debt. Yes, us, we are just but custodians of the data.
The credit information.
Yes.
Yeah? So we've come across a lot of issues around financial institutions or lenders who ceased to exist. All right? Could be that they closed down or they merged and all that stuff.
Yes.
So can one dispute information, such information? Like, for example, they paid a loan, but that credit information provider closed down. So they are not able to find them, to update their accounts, and so their credit reports are affected.
Just like you have said, there are various reasons why an institution can cease to exist. In the event that the customer comes and informs us that the institution closed down, now then we will liaise with our business development team. Now to go to the office of registrar of companies, just to verify that indeed this company closed down. If we find that the company did close down, there is a form where they fill it in and have the credit information provider removed from our database, and then now that means that all the information that this credit information provider shared with the bureau is no longer exists in the database. Now, in the instance a company was either acquired or has merged, that information should be available to the public. Now, still the business development team will go and conduct investigation. Come back if they are under new management, we will find them and now raise the complaints, the customer complaint to them, and have the matter resolved just like any other dispute. Yes.
So you're saying that kama pengine niko na loan ya an institution that was closed down and I didn't pay, I could be lucky.
Unaweza kuwa umebahatika.
Unaweza kuwa umebahatika.
Yes.
Okay, but as you already know, I mean, dawa ya deni ni kulipa.
Yes.
Na ni kulipa on good time.
On time, yes.
You just talked about updates earlier on, and you helped us understand how long updates take and what someone can do if it takes longer.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Now, let's talk about credit information retention in a credit report.
Yes.
Because I know that it gets to a point that that information needs to be deleted.
To be deleted, yes.
How long does that take?
It should take 5 years. However, that is from the date of final settlement.
Okay.
It can't be that you borrowed a loan back in 2017 and then now you've never paid that loan.
Yeah.
Now 5 years have lapsed.
Yeah.
Now you want the loan to be deleted. It
yeah.
doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
For as long as that loan has not been cleared, we will retain that information as is until the day you clear the same.
Until the day you clear the same. So let's give an example where I took a loan of say 10 million and that was 10 years ago. I paid half the amount and I come here and I say like I need the account to be deleted.
No.
It does not work like that.
Full settlement.
Full settlement.
The law, the CRB regulations talks about full settlement and any other amount that you may have been, that you have agreed together with the credit information provider.
Yeah.
So if there are any interest that you're supposed to pay, they will be included in that amount. Yes.
So watu wangu, it's not like ati because you know some law kidogo ati ikifika 5 years unataka account yako ikuwe deleted.
No.
If you've not paid, if it's not fully settled, it will remain on your credit report.
But also ensure that the moment you have paid for that loan, have the credit information provider update the date of final settlement. Because failure to do so, our systems will never pick it up. If you don't update the last date of payment, we will never know when you paid for it last.
Okay.
So credit information providers as well, please ensure that you always update the last date of payment. And
that is the credit information providers. But even you as our customer, anytime you borrow or pay your loan, it is very important to get your most recent credit report so that you are also at par with your credit information, isn't it? And you can do that by just dialing *433# or downloading our Cristobal app on the Google Play Store, and that will be of a really help to you. So Are there processes for deletion of those outdated data?
That's why we need credit information providers to update the last date of payment, because because since our systems are automatic, they just pick the date, and once the 5 years lapse, that account no longer appears in your credit report. I can talk of an instance where we had a client who took a loan back in the 90s and has never fully settled that loan.
That was way before you were born, yeah?
Yes, no, and maybe. I can neither confirm nor deny.
No deny.
Yes,
Yeah.
back in the 90s, and they came in and said, I need this loan it's been more than 20 years, really.
Clearly, yeah.
But for as long as you have not fully settled that loan,
it
cannot happen.
Okay, so we've talked about what a dispute is, some of the instances you can dispute and all that jazz. So now, here's an individual who is seeking to file a dispute with Metropol, right? Yes. Now, what are the procedures to follow?
We've talked about coming in, filling in the form, and then now you wait for 31 days.
Yeah.
But even during that period, you are very much allowed to seek clarification on the progress of the same. But really, there is nothing that can be done if the 31 days have not lapsed.
Because I know there are people when you're kona haraka sana, they come here, they file or a dispute, and within a week
they want
they're
feedback.
Following up, like what's going on.
You're allowed to follow up. I mean, it's your right. However, you also have to be patient. That's why you're encouraged to check your credit report as often as possible, so that once you capture or take note of information that is captured erroneously, we're able to deal with the issue before now you urgently want to access a facility.
Okay.
Because even if it is very urgent, there is nothing that we can do for as long as the 31 days have not lapsed. Yes.
So, and I know that that dispute form is a very simple document.
Extremely.
Easy to understand.
Extremely.
So you can find it on our website.
Yes.
www.metropol.co.ke.
Yes.
Go through it. It has all very simplified information, like if you want to dispute a name or a mobile number or a loan account, all that information is there. So head on to our website, www.metropol.co.ke, check out that dispute form. If there's anything on your credit report that you'd like to dispute, that is where to find the dispute form. Now, someone has filed a dispute, you have investigated as an office, what are the possible outcomes after you've concluded the investigation?
So after investigations, there are 3 possible outcomes. The first thing is, number one, the credit information provider can come and tell us to retain the listing. That means they have gone through, they have conducted their in-depth investigation and found that indeed this account is correctly listed. So when they tell us to retain the listing, that is the same information we relay to the customer.
Okay.
The second outcome is that the credit information provider can say that the listing is indeed accurate, so either delete it or amend the same. So in that circumstance, the credit information provider can update on their end or send us a batch number to update the same. And sometimes those batch numbers may end up deleting the account depending on the intention of the batch. So there are 3 possible outcomes after the bank or the credit information provider has conducted their investigations. They can come back and tell us to retain the listing as is. Now that means they've conducted their investigation and they found out that
information is accurate.
It has been correctly reported in your credit report. The second thing is they can tell us to update. That means that either the account does belong to you, but it has been reported incorrectly in terms of probably the current balance or the current account status. And finally, probably the listing is inaccurate, so go ahead and delete that account. So those are the 3 possible outcomes.
So
also, just to add on that, when they say the listing is inaccurate, there could be, they could update it on their end by themselves, or they could send in a batch number for us to update on our end.
From this side,
Yes.
So they can also update it from there.
Yes, the credit information provider can update.
And now just share the updated information.
Yes.
Okay, great. And you talked about customer rights because you're just talking about customer having a right to follow up when they dispute. Are there any other rights a customer have during this dispute process?
They do,
Yeah.
especially after the investigation have been conducted.
Yeah.
So once we receive information from the credit information provider pertaining retaining of the listing, now the customer has a right to two things or three things.
Yeah.
So the first one, they have a right to now forward this complaint to Tatua Center for further mediation. So in such a circumstance, you will come in and the credit information also will send a representative. Then you can amicably resolve this situation.
Yeah.
Another thing is that you can refer the complaint to Central Bank of Kenya. So now under Central Bank of Kenya, it's still something similar to what Tatua Center does.
Okay.
So you get to choose where you want to take your matter for further negotiations.
Okay.
The third thing is that if you have the ability, you can now take the matter to court for litigation purposes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. And you've just brought up Tatua Center. We had a conversation with Tatua Center last week. If you're wondering who or what Tatua Center is, please check our last week live. That was on the 14th, Friday 14th. We had Registrar Tatua Center, that was Hannah Ndarwa, just speaking about what Tatua Center does. And Tatua Center is an alternative dispute resolution center. If in case the information that you get from here, you're not satisfied,
yes,
you can always contact Tatua Center, right?
Yes.
And I know we talked about where you can get the dispute form and how you can submit. Are those the same channels available for customers to submit the dispute process?
Are.
Okay.
Yes.
So if you file the dispute, you can walk to our offices. We are at KCB Towers in Upper Hill, Kenya Road, 14th floor. You can submit your dispute there. Or if you are in Nairobi CBD, please walk to Pension Towers, which is on Loiter Street on the 7th floor. You'll get our office there. You can give us a call. We will send you an email where you can submit that. Call us on 0709 834 000. You can also submit that form once you download it from our website. Our website is www.metropol.co.ke. You can download the form, fill it, submit it on our official email address, info@metropol.co.ke. You can also copy disputes resolution at metropol.co.ke. If you are a WhatsApp person, 0705 723 666. Also, here on social media, you can always submit your dispute. We are on Facebook, Metropol CRB. We are on X, Metropol CRB as well. And Instagram, metropol.crb.
Yes.
Now, as we finish, what are some of the measures by the CRB to collect feedback from the customers about the experience with the dispute resolution process?
We encourage those who've gone through the whole process to send back feedback through our email addresses that we've already provided.
Yeah.
We also encourage them to give our agents a call. If you feel dissatisfied by anything, please call us. If you feel happy with anything, please call us.
And we've not mentioned that we also have agents across the country. 300 plus agents.
Yes.
So just look out. We normally post the list of agents on our social media platforms. Please be sure to be checking that out. Ukiwa wapi, unaweza tafuta ule agent ako karibu na wewe, ukiwa na ile dispute, wapatie pale and it will be sorted.
Yes.
Yeah. Ngori nayo lazima watu wajae.
Usijai moto, so kuja tu kama umerelax. We will handle it.
We will talk.
We will talk, we will solve it. Also exercise some bit of patience.
Yeah.
And also we've had instances where customers feel like, now this is defamation. No one ever wants to ruin your credit information on purpose.
Yeah.
No, that is never the intention.
Yeah.
CRB si kitu mbaya, we've always said that.
Yes.
So exercise some patience and allow us to do what we can to help you.
Demystify that myth that CRB ni kitu mbaya. We are the best thing that has ever happened to this country and the world. But thank you very much, Tracy,
thank you
for coming
having
through. This has been a very good conversation, a very good discussion. I know we've talked a lot about disputes, but never in depth like this from, of course, an expert So thank you very much, Tracy. We hope to have you again.
Anytime.
And again,
Anytime.
and again, so that we can talk about disputes and just other things
Yes.
generally about CRB.
Yes.
Yeah, so if you have any questions, if you are not watching this live, maybe you'll watch it later, please find this on our Facebook page, Metropol CRB, also on X, Metropol CRB. You can go to our YouTube channel, Metropol TV Kenya. If you have any questions whatsoever, please post them there. We'll be more than glad to answer you. Now, from me, Sina Mengi, up until next Friday, you know where to find us. I have been Kenalan kama kawaida. Up until next Friday, same place, same time. Adios.